So we've got a couple of tangi happening today. So Jack will go out and organise the paperwork, pick up the two papuku, meet with the family at the same time. We do have families that like to pre-arrange everything, and so that's normally done. I think one of them today was pre-arranged last week. Pākehā whānau, first one, and they're involved with hospice. And so they made all the whānau come and made all the arrangements last week. So what will happen normally is the car will come straight in here, and we'll only go two places. One to the cool room, where nobody can see that. And most pākehā will go that way, because they are the big cremations. There's not a lot of whānau involvement, although that's now changing. The funny thing is, Pākehā are now moving towards the way we do funerals, and Māori are moving towards the way Pākehā do funerals. So there's sort of a merging of the streams at the moment, and whether we like it or not, it's sort of created through Māori not connecting with their marae, Māori not they don't have the real, that basic tikanga that they've lost along the way. The urbanisation, the finances, whatever you want to call it, it's really not a problem, but Māori's ideals and kaupapos are changing every single day, basically to try and keep up with the flow of what's happening in the world. We've picked up the technology, and that's pretty good because we're able to connect with our whānau, but at the same time I don't think we're utilising it properly to encourage our people to reconnect with their culture. So, I know that's my own Carl, so we'll just carry on going.
But then there's another factor in there too, because they think that cremations are cheaper than burials. For Māori it isn't. With the cremation fees you're looking at 400 to, we'll say 600. With Māori, if you've got your own urupa, it's probably a couple of boxes with the boys. In reality. And that's why they think that, no, we'll go cremation because it's cheaper. But then Māori, their main thing is they want to be picked up in Bali and taken home. So that process is never going to change whether you go burial or cremation.
Cremation, yeah. So, what do you call it? Finance has become a very big issue for our people. And the funny thing is, with a lot of Pākehā, they don't really care. They don't have the same problems as we do. They really do like the personal touch that's now being implemented in their culture. People say that Pākehā don't have a culture. You need to understand that they do. Okay? It's their culture. We know that because we're living their culture. The tangihana process at the moment, there's nothing in it that's Māori tradition. That's the dressing in black, that's the 3 days, that's the casket, that's the embalming. None of it is Māori. Because our people never practiced it like that in the day. Okay, so we've actually adopted their culture, so they do have a culture.
So they never done the 3 days, like I know the black was adopted from them, from the Queen and the World Winners in the morning. But the 3 days
no, we used to keep our bodies forever and a day.
Wow.
With the introduction of the Tohunga Act, they tagged a health and safety issue into that one as well. So that we had to bury our people within 3 days. Before we could keep our bodies for 6 months. And it wasn't a problem for us. We didn't embalm, we actually encouraged decomposition. Simply because our issue was to get to the koiwi, the bones. And we used to bury our people in shallow graves and caves, go back in a year's time, clean the bones off, and then we would have the tangi. Okay, that's our people. So, but what we've got is we decided that, hey, after embalming, our bodies are clean, sanitised, they don't smell, they're not purging, they're not bloating. I could go for that. But in taking in that one process, we actually gave away our cultural tangihana practice. But that's okay. I mean, I can't ever see us going backwards now. It's the way of the world. You've got health and safety. You've got bacteria, viruses now that make it important for us to do the embalming process. Okay, especially for the way we grieve. Anyway, I'll carry on with the process. So what happens, the tupapa will be taken out of the back. We all here into the mortuary, so come on through. This is a big mortuary by most funeral home standards. Most mortuaries are probably this big. Okay. So don't worry about it, there's nothing. The biggest factor for us is health and safety. For us, all the power, water is all in the roof. Okay, and this is just a workroom space for us. We could do the embalming in this room, next room, even in the kitchen, which we never do. But just to point out, this is only a room, and there are health and safety aspects in here that make it safe for the public and for us, our working. After every tupapa, the mortuary is cleaned out. Even if we've got 2 or 3 sitting here waiting, everybody will be, the mortuary will be given a clean through and a reset for the next one, reset for the next one. Because everybody deserves their time, their space. Cool. Okay, so it's basic tikanga. Everybody, and it saves that transfer of what's theirs and what's ours. Their own Māori must have its own space. And so it follows on naturally for us. If we've got 2 tupapaku that have to be prepared today, they'll both sit in here together. Okay? If it's a tupapaku that's going through, he'll sit in here today. We don't discriminate between cultures. Our culture stands, so nobody gets left by themselves. Cool. Unless a family asks for it, the tupapa to go into the cool room, they will be put in there because we have to obviously acknowledge the whānau's, what do you call it, tikanga. So, yeah, I don't know, man, it's just, you know, it's stuff we all know and we accept. It's something we do, it's something we weren't trained to do. You just know if there's another tupapa, they get in here and they sit and they wait for their mate. Yeah. You know, they don't sit out there in the cold by themselves. And you'll get that with, believe me, just Māori funeral characters. It's the way we work. I've worked through a lot of funeral homes in several countries, and they do not act the way we do. And I'm not saying we're better than they are. It's just the way we do things, and it's what's acceptable for us that keeps things moving. I did a seminar with, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Who were they? It was the degree for social work, and they asked us the difference between a European funeral home and our funeral home. Those are the subtle differences that you'll not see. Okay, a lot of times they look after, they give the families exactly what they ask for and what they pay for. It's a simple transaction. Okay, with us you'll get a little bit more than that. It's just that, it's the way you connect with the whānau, with the family. I don't know, Māori, they come to us all the time. They always come up to us, this is my dad, can you please treat him extra special? It's like, no, we won't. She'll get treated the same way we treat everybody else. Because we give them our best. If it's not good enough for you, Kate, the pie, we did our best. I'm sorry, it wasn't good enough for you, but that's what we did. Okay, and that's where we throw ourselves out on the line. It's accepted by some, not accepted by others. They tend to think we're not looking after them good enough. But the problem for us is we are. I give our funeral directors a lot of time off. Okay. So like, if there's nothing coming, shut the doors, just go home, or go home to your family, or go do that. Simply because when they're in here, they concentrate completely on that family. They're here to work. There's no time to play, there's no time to muck around. You concentrate on that family. You had your playtime, now it's time to get the money done. So, and it all goes to making sure that the whānau are concentrated on 100%. Yeah, that's it. Oh, any questions?
there's only one lunch, you know, in a bad case of a car accident, and you know, I just, it's something just I had to ask. When somebody's cut up real bad in an accident, how do you treat them?
Environment-wise,
Not
as a person, but you know, the environment and whatever that you have to do with them.
Yeah, I want to know the process for environment.
The process.
Well, we'll talk about that in the chat, because those ones always come up.
Yeah.
So no, and because there's different things, aspects you have to take into consideration, and it can get really drawn out quite long. But I'll answer that definitely for you. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. So once they've been embalmed or pricked, all the prick work's done in here, then they come to here. This is all hair and makeup. Most to Papaku.
Hair and makeup.
Welcome to our salon.
Hey, I could do with a straighten.
Most to Papaku, they go through funeral homes, all the prick work is done in the mortuary. So they try to consolidate all the work in one area, and it saves them having to make another room and another room and another room. Our whakaro is we make sure that everything has its place. So if we've got another tupapaku in there, you don't sort of want to be picking up hair and blood spots and everything else like that while you're trying to make them look pretty, and they need their own space here where we can fluff on them. You know, and say, hey, listen, come on, Mum, come on, Dad, give us a break, you know. Whenever we're in that room, it feels like we always have to rush because there's a roll-on. So what we do is we bring them through into here, and they put on beds, not steel containers. You treat them as if they're alive, because for a Māori, they are. They're here, they're present. Hopefully they go when the tina, you know, but they get exactly the same way they would were they were to walk in through the door. When we go into the marae, we're not talking to the pai, we're not talking to anybody else but the tupapaku. That's who we acknowledge. Why? Because they're there. No different from them coming into here. Okay, so they all get beds, they all get pillows, they all get fluffed on, and it's something my father and mother taught us. Like I said, it's just something you would do for my mum or dad if they came through you. You know, in the mortuary it can be like karaoke night on a Friday. You know, we sing, have a joke, the radio goes on, kia ora bro, bet you like this song. You know, there's no difference to how we would treat you had you just been a mate that walked in off the street. And that's how, that I think that's why, for me, the wider you bring in is the wider we, you know, what you feel in here. People are always asking us, what do we do to keep ourselves protected from this big mate, and they make this big mate. For us, it's nothing. It's because, you know, everybody's scared of death until it's your mum and dad, or it's your child, and you have to come in and you have to look after them, and you have to kiss them. You know, I've never kissed a mum body before. They walk in and see their mum, Mum! You know, then all of a sudden they're all over the tupapaku, and they're, oh man, put her socks on properly, she'll kill you. And all of a sudden, that person is alive again for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how you treat this process here. Alright? So yeah, that's this part. So after this, they're prepped in hair, makeup, we get the girls in.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you guys do the makeup?
Yeah, we do actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and on Friday night I dress Jack up, Saturday night he goes out with $203 hooker. No, it's okay. You know, it's
the majority of the time we keep them as natural as possible.
Yeah, we do makeup in here, but
but we leave that to the families. The families say no, she's used to work. We'll say our females being used to makeup, lipstick, and all that. We get them out there and they say, oh, she doesn't need it. So so it's up to them, and they can do it themselves.
But
Awesome.
natural is always best.
Yeah.
I mean, you get we get the ones that'll come in with lipstick and, you know, and by the time we've finished in the hair and makeup, they're like, oh, let's just wipe that off and just put it natural. Less is best, always.
Yes.
Not only that, if you sketch good one in that, what do you call it? If you use a lot of makeup, most time it's going to get smudged off if they're Māori, because most of our whānau are going and kissing them, they come up and they got half their lipstick on. Like, you just wasted 2 hours work, damn you. It's like, it's a waste of time doing it, so keep it natural. You know, gloss always works better, and it's a quick touch up later on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they look better natural in their natural state. You know, you don't see them wearing makeup 24/7.
So Thin Lizzie's as a wonder.
Thin Lizzie's works wonders over. And yeah, so let's keep moving. So then they're brought from here into this room here. This is a dressing room. Now, for Māori, we've always dressed our own. It's, you know, we've given up asking now. Would you like us to dress? Oh, doubt it, bro. You know, by then you've got that sort of relationship where it's like, no, we'll take care of our own. We put them in a small room for no reason but to control the numbers that will come through the door. Okay, at any time you can have a tupapa come in and go out there and there's 200 people sitting out there waiting. And they all want to get in here to dress. So we keep a small room so we can say, hey, listen, unfortunately we can't fit 2 or 3. It keeps us down on time, especially when we've got other tupapa coming through. A lot of our people like to pass away with 2 or 3 mates going with them. So we're always in that roll on. Okay, so this is also a time where once they're dressed, we encourage the family to come through and spend a little bit of time with them. Simply because once you're into the marae, you're public fodder. Okay, this is the last time basically where you can have that personal alone time, because at the marae it just never happens. Even when you take them home, people are going to be turning up there all the time. Here it's just a quiet moment. Most of the time it's 15, 20 minutes and they're all ready to go after that. So they'll be dressed in here. Then the whānau excused. The casket has been chosen already and brought through into the back room here. And then after they finish dressing, they dress their body tupapas like this. And the chemical, our people like to just move as soon as possible. But what we like to do is, what they don't understand is a lot of time the chemical needs between 6 and 12 hours of settling time before it actually activates. Okay, so the body, tupapa, needs that time to settle. So we like it if the tupapa is going a short distance just to get the tupapa there, put them down, let them settle. And what do you call it? But our people like to take them on roads that are like this, and going up and down. By the time they get to the marae, the body's unsettled still. It hasn't actually had that time. And we try to tell our people, take the time. They never will, they never do, but that's okay. So we have to recheck the tupapa after the rolling from the dressing.
What's the chemical they use?
It's a formaldehyde-based chemical. It's a synthetic one as well, a glutaldehyde. But they're changing them up every day. They've got chemicals now that don't have any glutaldehyde or formaldehydes in them, but they don't have the holding strength that they used to. There are 3 things, 3 positions we come from as embalmers. Embalming, first of all, for us, is about sanitation. Making the body clean and safe from bacteria and viruses.
You've got doctor's hands.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Bro, they think I would. So, what do you call it? First, it's sanitisation. Always. That's our first priority, make that body clean. Second is preservation. Okay? Make sure that the body will last. And the third is presentation. You might get an ugly body back from any funeral, including us sometimes, because you're not happy with it. But that body is clean and preserved. That's our markers. Okay? There are tupapa that will come in here with conditions that we can't always fix. Okay, so what we've got to do is mark our markers off first. For Māori, it's important that they just get their tupapa back. So they get them back clean and safe and sanitised, we're winning. Second one is preservation, make sure it lasts for 3 days that the whānau are wanting. Sometimes it only goes 2 days because we can't control the extenuating circumstances, what they came in from, the diseases they've had. People think we can work miracles. We can't. We'll do the best we can, but we can't fix everything. Okay, and the third one is the presentation. If we get out with all three, and 90% of the time we get out with all three, then it's a good win for us. You know, the family feels good, you know, they come in, they get the service they want, and they go away happy. So those are the markers funeral directors are always looking for. Although the whānau want us just to go straight to number 3. Because they don't really, they just want to see mum or dad. You know, they're not really interested in anything other than, does she look the way she used to? But there are other things that we have to take into consideration. I'm definitely not going to give a tūpapaku back to you that looks fantastic, but is contagious. Okay, and that's our priority when we work.
So hopefully they'll find some type of chemical that will break down, it'll be better for Papatūānuku as well when the body breaks down.
Well, no, our chemical breaks down.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's good.
It all breaks down. I mean, they've got a lot of things out there at the moment that say, oh, listen, it's really bad for Papatūānuku, blah, blah, blah. It all breaks down. It just doesn't break down in the time frames that they need it to. And they've got the greenies now coming in and say, we need to find a better way to do it. But we need that activated to preserve the tissue.
Yeah.
The industry is moving away from embalming. Okay, in Australia, I think only 3% of the population get embalmed. It's all chiller work. You know, the only reason it's safe for us, and it'll never change, because it's cultural.
We'll need to see that too.
Yeah, they have to see their tūpapaku, they have to touch their tūpapaku, they have to hongi. Oh, you guys are a mess. You know, but
It's okay.
I like to be difficult. No, actually, it's perfect for us. It suits the way we work. Appropriately. Yeah, it's awesome. There's just sometimes it takes a little bit longer than others. So yeah, once the tūpapaku is in its casket, it's been checked, it's brought back into here. We give it another. There are checks we do all the way through. Before it goes, the tūpapaku goes into this room here. It'll only go 2 ways. Okay, it'll go towards the chapel, depending on the amount of people that come, or into here. So come on through.
I love this room.
Oh, no.
I know, with the TV right there.
This is the whānau. Jack was saying out there that we run a 24-hour service. Although we do try to encourage our whānau to go to the next morning, hold mum and dad with you overnight if they pass away at like 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock. Because there's nothing we can do to move them on from here. And the thing for us is we need to sleep. Because we have 2 or 3 tūpapaku coming through at a time, we have to make sure that we've got enough workers to cover the next day. And a lot of times we'll work right through the night, finish at 6, start at 6:30. So we try to encourage our family whānau to go through to hold mum and dad with you, which most of them don't mind now, you know, because they like to have that personal time with them. But if they can't, they'll come here. They can come in here, it's warm, it's heated, they've got sound, they've got, well, that's not a TV, that's for us. It's like watching a rugby. They've got the kitchen in here, so that they can bring their kai here, make the food, feed, make themselves comfortable. The experience is about making sure that they're okay here while they're in our care.
So is that if they choose to come here during the night and they stay here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, they're not allowed to stay here overnight.
Oh, okay.
What's happened now is we used to let them stay overnight all the time. but the council have now put a caboose on that one.
For what
Because,
reason?
because we're not a marae. No funeral home can do it. Because what they do is, it's now a health and safety issue, whereas if they come here to stay the night, we have to provide mattresses, sheets, pillows, showering facilities for the whānau. We have to provide the kitchen, and not just a catering kitchen, not a amenities kitchen, but a full catering service for them while they're here. And we have to provide a laundry system so that the sheets, pillows, and it can be laundered for the next whānau, which just puts us at too much expense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, we try to keep them here as long as we're able to, but they cannot stay the night. The fines can be quite large. And for us, it's about getting the whānau home anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll tell them, if you can't go to the marae, take them home.
Yeah.
You know, they should not be in a cold building by themselves. Not when it can be helped. We had people drive up from Gisborne, Taranaki, Wellington, down from up north, help drive all their to Park here, get a knock on the door. Hey bro, got my dad in the back. Got the paperwork. I'm like, you know, so you get all of those type of experiences happening for us all the time.
Paperwork, what's the paperwork?
Cause of death certificate is the most important one. It has to be signed off by the doctor. Okay, we can't actually do the transfer or the pickup until the doctor's verified that that paperwork has been done. So you'll ring up at 1 o'clock in the morning and say, Dad has died. The nurse has said, you know, even when they've been waiting for him to pass away, the nurse has said, yep, he's died. So have you talked to the doctor? No. So then we have to try to track down the doctor.
The doctor.
Yeah, and that's why the buck is referred on to coroners if they can't find a doctor or a doctor willing to sign. Then they go to the coroners and the coroners step in. And then the buck is taken out of our control. Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Can I ask a question? We had one of our, which have been at the clinic, we had one of our patients, he was a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah.
He died, was it the cancer that killed him eventually? It was just a brave thing that happened to him. And when we went to put his shoes into his casket, because he loved his own shoes. And he specifically told us that he wanted his shoes for him. So we put his shoes in, and I was really disappointed because I saw his legs being strapped. Why do they strap his arms? His legs were strapped, and we go, he's in a thin box, why do they strap his legs?
Was it a longer box?
No, it was fitted to his height.
Yeah, good times. I have no idea for that.
Have you
Did his legs, were they deformed or in any way? So they were really, okay.
No, he was a perfect born child.
No, I wouldn't have a clue. It'd just be the funeral director and their processes.
The only time that will basically happen if the casket's too long for them,
Yeah.
and if the families have taken them home, because sometimes if the casket won't fit into the rooms, you kind of have to stand them up and it might stop them from sliding down.
No,
No?
so he just had his legs strapped. He had them strapped here and at the ankles. But I wouldn't tell the parents because
To stop them from going like that?
No, it doesn't matter.
no, because because it's
It's probably just there. It's just probably an internal process of theirs, but we wouldn't even do that. We don't try and strap it to Papa Curve one if they're travelling a long distance, especially over dirt roads, and it's only to control the movement. Yeah, not. That's it, up and down, you know, and that's the only reason we would lock a body in to that
Well,
position.
he only came from, like, because he was from Matapi, Tauranga,
Yeah.
and it was only from, I don't know whether the service was from Tauranga to Matapi. So, I just don't understand why they, I was kind of hurt, because he was a fussy boy.
I would ask the funeral director.
I'm going to see him, I go there.
Yeah.
Because it just might be a part of their internal thing to make sure that the body sits right. you know, you also get some tūpapa that'll come in and they're laid on their side for so long that when you lie them on their back, they don't actually sit right. You know, so what they'll do is they'll put cushions under one side to correct it, and then they strap them down to hold them in that position.
Mind you, he passed away, and like him and his dad, they just got up to the driveway and he passed away sitting in the car. Was that anything that, no?
That might have been it.
Yeah.
Rigor mortis while they were.
Rigor
See, rigor mortis might have kicked in, and so they would have had to flatten and restrain the legs because the rigor mortis won't break.
Mind you,
Wow,
like his
sometimes.
dad had picked him up, like, taken him out of the car. He was still warm and laid him on the mattress inside the house.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when rigor mortis kicks in. It's a chemical reaction. It's not a sort of muscular thing. Well, it is a muscular thing. It works in the muscle. But what happens in the tendons? But what happens is it'll freeze in that position, and you have to flex the arms and the legs to break the rigor. But it doesn't always break it fully.
So does that break the bones? No.
No.
So if they're like this, like seized up,
Yeah.
do you have to break
Yeah. No. When I say mean break the rigor, it's just you've got to break that lock.
just that lock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all in the tendon, it's a chemical reaction that freezes it. You'll find big people, fat people, don't have rigor. Because they've got a lot of melanin in there. They're like really subtle. But you get muscular people, people that work out in the gym, people that, what do you call it, always on your own. They're the ones that rigor up pretty quickly.
Yeah, because I was just talking to one of the queers and she was telling me that sometimes they have to break the bones.
No.
And then so I said, are you sure fine? She was like, us.
No,
So no, it's just
I've never
breaking
had
the
to
lock.
break a bone in my life, and I've been, for a while.
Yeah, cool.
Because the other thing I've got a question and answer is that my niece at the beginning of the year died of cancer.
Yeah.
I'd say she looked like a model. Even when she passed over, she looked like a model. But when we took her to the undertakers and they put her into her casket, I was very unhappy again because they couldn't close her mouth. And I questioned, I said, why isn't her mouth closed? Her teeth, she had real good teeth. And they couldn't close her mouth. And I said, why can't you close it? Because I know a service that knows how to do these things. I said, why can't you do it? And he said, we just couldn't. Oh, yeah, her teeth were too big. And I go, hey, she said they all along.
Yeah,
Did
no.
she have an overbite?
You'll find while you're alive, your bottom teeth actually sit behind your top teeth naturally. You know, and then when you die, it freezes. Depending on how your mouth is, that can actually happen. So what happens is a lot of times the jaw will freeze, rigor in the jaw, and it won't break. You probably could have gone back in maybe a day or two. The rigor's broken and her jaw's supple, and then they could have manoeuvred it back into place and closed it.
Because when I arrived, I saw that her mouth was open, so I just put something here, and when she left the house, her mouth was closed. But when we got to the undertakers and saw her in the box, her mouth was open up. And that's why I questioned the undertakers. Why is it open? Because I
Well, if it was closed when she left the house,
Yeah.
I can't see why.
Well,
Rigor happens on death. You know, it either happens on death or a couple of things after.
Because our fellow
Minutes
yeah,
there,
it's
so.
a double for them, you see the two bottom of his teeth, and that's why I made sure that it was closed. It was how I was brought up.
Yes.
Yeah, so her mouth was closed when she used the house.
No, no.
So they like stitch?
Yes.
Stitch them?
Yeah. Oh, we'll go over that in the chat. So we'll go to the process so you
I'll
guys.
show you on this part that I'm going to pick up.
Okay, let's move this the other way. Oh, you been through the kitchen?
Deal, no deal. Thank you.
I'm sure we will.
Sorry, if we had time, we would have had something for you to eat.
Oh, we just had a big breakfast.
Oh,
Huge. Yeah.
So yeah, this is that kitchen, so whānau can come in here. Obviously the size you can see, because whānau don't come by themselves. So we'll set it up so, well, it's funny man, we used to have heaps of catering plates and cups, like 200-300 of them. I think we've got 2 cups left though.
Can I grab a drink of water?
Yeah, help yourself.
Thanks.
But for some reason our people, they must be like, oh gee, there's a sweet cake, hop in the car. And we've lost all our plates, cups, knives and forks. So now they're down to plastics, take that. So what do you call it? This kitchen's set up so that they can come in here, make themselves comfortable. It also doubles as a catering kitchen for when we do the big European services. So yeah.
For the family.
Yeah. No, they're good sizes, these rooms. We've sort of made it so that, what do you call it, you don't get squashed in, and when our people come, they come in droves, and it's cool to be comfortable, you know. So, a little warm-up circle, so come on, let's go through this.
I think this is the next. When they go. Oh, probably warm in here.
Yeah, I tell you what, the freezing all the heaters on. It's like an icebox at night, man. Yeah. Well, this building is 100 and something years old, and it used to be the old railway buildings. So they would build homes in here. So the trains, you'd see the train tracks out the back, the trains would pull up, build the homes, take the homes up there, put them on the train, ship them all over the country. So there's a lot of people we do here that worked here all their lives, and they've come here and we prepared them, and the family gone, hey, he worked and died there. You know, so it's quite there's a lot of history in this building. We couldn't make a lot of changes in here, so we had to keep these open because it's part of the old historical society buildings now, because there is so much history here. So we still have to make it look like a railway station. That's why we've got those big green tarps out the front, those overhangs, so it looks like a train station to keep to the historical society's themes. So this is the chapel. We see probably about 250, 300 people comfortably. We've got sound art, projection, and all that. Those doors will pull back, and we take out the room, the couches and that into this room, and we put out more seating in there. There's cameras in here so that for that big TV in there, so if you can't get a direct view of the casket, because there's a lot of people in here, you can see it on the big screen as well. And there's my little cubby hole at the back of the sound room where we just sit there and control everything from out the back and no one sees us. And this is a room Marty and you can use.
Using it now because a lot of the people that do come here are actually from somewhere else.
Oh yeah.
And so come here, we do mainly a lot of LDS, or 90% of LDS in Waikato. And even though they've got their own chapels, some of their whānau is not LDS, but they come here.
So you'll just explain that because you simply say what's happening.
Oh.
I don't know what it is.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so we do a lot of them here. But yeah, most Māori, they really see this room unless we've got 2 or 3 people to park here at a time. So with one whānau would be in this room, another whānau would be in that other room. And because there are whānau that don't like to mix, they like to just make sure, because we're doing them from all over New Zealand, they have different tikanga from where they're from, so we'll give them the opportunity to either merge or or to stay separate. Yeah, don't even know why we put this in there. It's nice to have though. Good for sports nights and movie nights, put it on the projector and you're away. So, what do you call it? Now, that's basically the whole process. The whole thing we've walked through here takes us about 2.5 hours to do. So the two Pāpaku are not with us a lot. Maximum wise, we could pretty much get through one in about an hour and a half.
So some whānau girl come in here and they say, oh, we'll just bring you something for a cup of tea. And I'll just walk in the kitchen and, oh, you're ready to go now? So, yeah. They say, how come it takes you so long? It's so fast. It's just a process we're so used to. I mean, they said, well, how come the Europeans or anyone around our states 6 to 8 hours? Well, they said chemical settling time. And not only that, we know our culture, we want to get them back to the marae, we don't want them with us. As in such as, yeah, we need to get them, we want them to spend more time at the marae than in the whenua. That's how it will be.
Yeah. Our whakaaro is the more time on the marae with the whānau, the better. Because they've only got 3 days. And what do you call it? They don't need us wasting time here. So we're all locked into time. Time becomes a very big factor for us. And a lot of our Māori whānau, they don't understand. They think we're rushing them out the door, trying to push them on. And we say, no, we're actually help us to help you. Because you'll appreciate that extra hour when it's time to close the casket. Or, you'd appreciate that last couple of minutes you had, rather than sitting here fluffing around trying to wait for a nene or auntie. Because you'll have somebody, the whānau sitting here, Pāpaku's by himself ready, and you're waiting for nene to come from up north. So they've lost 4 hours, 5 hours of whānau time waiting for one person. So we'll be saying, Pāka nene, get her back so that the majority of the whānau can enjoy your last time. You have people coming that haven't seen it for years and they're missing out for one person. So that's where we sort of step over the whānau and say, no, sorry. And it's not for our benefits, because we've just got more work to do. And we can manage our work, but knowing what the family are going to miss out on is what's important to us. We have a different perspective on the way we think to most people because we see it every day. Things that matter to you might not matter to us because we've sort of been there 1,000 times. I think Jack's up to what, 3,000 whānau that we service plus 5,000. And they sound like big numbers. I guess they are when you look at that they're people. These are individual bodies that Jack is taking care of, but he sees the same things all the time. So if we can shortcut those lessons for the whānau and manoeuvre them into a position that sometimes they don't want to go to, at the end of the day it's better for them. Because when it's time to close that casket, it's all over. You've lost any time to say your last goodbyes, your last farewells, your last kiss, your last hug, and that's what's important to us. Now, Auntie's question, the embalming process. The embalming process is basically a simple one. It's about removing as much blood and toxin out of the Tupāpaku as possible, and then replacing it with a formaldehyde-based chemical that goes in and treats the cells of the tissue of the body. We utilise the circulatory system, the vascular vessel, the arteries and veins. So we drain the Tupāpaku of the blood and toxins through the veins while pumping in our chemicals into the arteries. So it's a remove-replace system that's going on at one time, while using a pressure system, the body's own pressure systems make that happen.
So the blood that is being removed goes
Down the toilet. We offer a service where we collect the blood. We do it mainly for kidney home. Most farmers don't ask for it because they can't get rid of it.
The only reason why they keep the blood is that the public can be buried in one place, then they should be in another place where they can back up.
Yeah.
That's really how it is. And there's only a couple of families going to get just do that. If they come in here, I know exactly who the whole lot is. I will try to get something very good. But by the time it gets down, one was all really concentrated in my hands, the blood and the chemical.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a sister-in-law, she's had 3 family members pass away, don't believe it. And every time she takes a bucket to bucket. We used to know because she was, instead of the bucket and the drain, she had to also take the catches so that she takes it and use it.
Yeah. Because what we do is we usually take off the first cut before we've actually put the chemical in. So we'll make our decision, and the first blood that comes through, that's the only one we keep. Because it's the purest and doesn't have chemical. Even though we will add our chemical to it afterwards, it's just the intention of the act. Okay, rather than just, if we were to pump it out while we're pumping the chemical, we get more chemical in the blood. But without chemicals, we don't need a lot of chemical to actually disinfect that, to preserve that.
So where's the first incision made?
In the
First,
neck.
oh, okay.
First incision is always made in the neck simply because it's closest to the heart. Okay, that's the preferred incision, but I can make incisions up and down the body to remove what we need. So all I need to do is raise an artery and a corresponding vein, and they don't have to be in the same place.
Oh.
So yeah, we're trained in the best places to go. As far as accident victims are concerned, it doesn't really matter what condition they come in. We will always treat every single part that comes through. What do you call it? But, I mean, you'll go out to the hospital and you'll see, 1 of 5 parts. So you could get the torso, body minus the head's over here. So you get parts that we treat everything. With us, we will always try to put them back together. That's our facade. It's not industry thinking. If industry thinking, they will treat the parts, put them in the casket, close the casket. If they come in, if they're that bad. We will always push for you. If we close the casket, it's extreme.
And so, majority of the time, if we think it's viewable, we leave it up to the families whether they want to keep it open or not. So if you normally up at night or someone pretty strong,
We will always push, have it try. It's the least you can do. The worst thing I would hate, one thing I'd hate to see is a picture. There's no connection. For us, it's about touching. I remember moving to the partner who died in a car accident, came back from Australia. It was a mess, but his hands were awesome. So we prepared the body, covered everything up, but just the arm was showing, and Mum just, that's all she could do was touch the hand. And she was wrapped, because other than that, they never would have been able to have anything. So just to be, she knew it was her son, so that was it. Just being able to have that contact was enough for her. And that's what it is for our people. We're tactile people. So touch, we've got to see as well. And